Hello there, fellow pilots. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Garrison. Episode 41. I now have a fusion-powered tugboat. The core pump here can actually be moved here. I don't see why not. Opening it up, the space around here to be a little bit more free. That's weird. Why isn't it not letting me... Oh, are the corners not valid? Yeah, I'll do it there then. I definitely have a bunch of extra orange way floor tiles and some conduit. But I think this is... Let's dolly up that wall. Done. Put the floors in the dolly. Put the conduit in the dolly. And there's other structures that we're going to want to make. So I'm not saying that I'm like done. But at least the reactor room is finished. This is the reactor room that I had envisioned. There's really not a lot of floor space to be reclaimed. Like, there's this dead space here, which could be O2 and N2 pumps. I think that's probably what I'll set up there. In fact, let's do that now. So, I'll have them aligned with the walls. I even have an extra light on the dolly. Oh yeah, good call. So I'm putting walls in here so that we can have like nested pumps. And put the dolly down. Let's put the light on the other side, and then I'll turn off the visor overlay to see what the room actually looks like, because it actually looks like this. Yeah, so it's pretty well illuminated. I like the reactor room. This works. Access lock. What? I was like, no, it's 0000. I don't even know the combo. Why am I hacking it? Game. Okay. Repressurize. Because I don't think there's anything we really need to do in this room anymore. Like, there's not externals that we need to bash or whatever. So the plan is to put pumps here and here so that the... reactor room pressurizes itself, like self-pressurization. But all in all, like, that's done. The reactor room is pretty finished, other than like some sensors and the like. So fine-tune. So the next thing is, well, I guess we're still making the reactor room less jerry-rigged. So we've got N2, O2. What I don't have, oh, and thermostat. I don't really need CO2 for it, because if I'm not in that room, I'm not breathing, and if I'm not breathing, it's not a problem. So we'll put N2 on the left, and I'll have to wire that up. O2 on the right. Now, does this bad boy have pumps? It does. Literally, 2 turbo pumps. Turbo might be a little overkill. Let's go with regular. If I'm not mistaken, turbo pumps have a greater power drain. So I want to avoid using turbos because they're less power efficient. Not that power is a concern given that I have a reactor, but still. There we go. And then we need probably 2 coolers to keep up with the reactor's heat generation. It is breathable in the ship. now. So we'll have tanks here for nitrogen and oxygen hooked up to the associated adjacent sensors. So we need nitrogen and oxygen tanks. I don't really care if they're empty. I mean, if they are... Oh, you know what? There's a lot of people to strip. Feels bad, but, you know. I think I already took their PDAs, but if they had, then I guess they didn't have any in their pockets. Never mind. Coolers. That was the other thing I was looking for. I think I pulled all the coolers from this, this derelict. I'm not spotting any coolers here. Thrusters, sure, but no coolers. So we'll have to be shopping around for coolers. O2 can. Oh, well, this N2 is somewhat pressurized. I'm going to see if I can find O2. If it's not a full O2 can, it doesn't really matter because the rooms already have atmosphere, so it doesn't need... It could be an empty can. It's not going to make any difference. Use the price overlay. Which is my price? Visor. I think the price one is this one? Yeah. So here's the expensive parts. Mostly it's highlighting bins and batteries at this point, because most of the derelict ship is trashed. And a few thrusters. I like the mass overlay though, it's just easier, very easy on the eyes. Okay. O2 can. But yeah, you're right, the price overlay would spot O2 cans if they had gas in them. If they're empty, then they don't. In this case, I don't really care if it has gas or not. Yeah, that other ship is massive. Absolutely massive. Alright, in terms of thermostat, let's install that here with the light. So now we have O2, N2, therm. The other thing we're going to need is to install some conduit. And my visor tasks and placeholders had that layer hidden, so I'm putting it back. At some point, like when we're doing transfer burns or whatever, I'll do the restoration. We can take the helmet off. Set up the pump. Auto's fine. Input. Oh, they're backwards. Shoot. Let's fix that. We don't want the O2 pump and the N2 pump trying to pump the wrong things, cans-wise. Yeah, I guess the other thing is in the visor overlays, colors change, so the green O2 can and the green O2 alarm don't look so green right now, don't they? So you can see how I made that mistake. Alright, so here we go. Let's try this again. O2 pump. Input is the O2 sensor. Done. And then N2 pump. Input is the N2 alarm. Done. Okay. So now the reactor has its own Atmo setup. The other thing that might look a little cleaner is if I... stupid debug console. If I move the conduit, so let me look... let's go to power. I need a power viz. So I'll stick power visualization in. Wait, seriously? I just... Power. There we go. Open up the visor, placeholders. Okay, cool. So the reason for this is I wanted to change where the power cables were laid out to make it, I think, a little cleaner looking. So I'll put power cables there and then remove power cables here. So that the door isn't, like, messy. In fact, I can remove conduit there as well. It'll look a little cleaner. I know this data overlay is, like, super strange. There we go. Alright, so get rid of all the data overlay. You can see how there's, like, far less conduit laying on the ground, looking bad. So it just connects there. Alright, so the reactor room, short of having coolers, is all squared away. The other thing I wanted to do is install the tow brace. Right? So in order to install the tow brace, I wanted some mobile light flooring. And I need to change my vision overlay. So mass replacing. Oh, let's blow dust. Replacing power vis. Door power lost. Which one? Oh yeah. I need to install conduit here. There we go. What? Didn't I just switch my power? Yeah. I feel like there's a little weirdness with the visor. Because it, I was cycling through my visor settings and it had the power cartridge, which is sitting in my backpack. But, I like this. This is a pretty, I mean, it can get smaller, obviously. I could remove some walkability here to shrink it down, but like this is a pretty compressed reactor room where like all the individual parts are maintainable. Like I can reach, actually I can't reach this laser array. But apart from that laser array, which is slightly nested, I can reach all the other parts. And I can reach the laser array by just uninstalling the pellet feeder. Or I can move the pellet feeder up there if I wanted to. Like it's fine. It's totally reasonable. So the other thing I wanted to do eventually is to get coolers in there to keep the reactor room cooler. And then at the end of that, I can just keep the door closed because it has its own pressure system. So about the tow brace, I am going to grab some mobile space light framework floors. And I already have some walls. So grabbing some of those floors will allow me to install the tow brace. Because I think the reason I wasn't able to install the tow brace before was my airlock needed to be a little bit larger or something. I needed to tinker with it, so some additional flooring should allow for that. So we got 10 extra floors, which is probably 8 more than I really need. And then the way to do this is to probably decouple, because I don't think I can install a tow brace while I'm using the airlock. But I'm not intending to like go anywhere. So if I grab the tow brace and go to install it, we'll see the errors. So the tow brace goes like this. And I need to change my airlock and then like put floor tiles here and there or something. It's hard to interpret the data, to be honest. Let's go ahead and uninstall this airlock for now. And then see if the tow brace can be installed. Because I think I had such a small airlock that that was causing a tow brace problem. Nope, still complaining about tiles here. Is it the wall that it doesn't like? The problem is if I uninstall that wall, we vacuum, so... Also, nav message. Was it police? That was... yeah, it was police. Okay, install, hall, mobile light wall. And we go outside. I think what it's saying is it doesn't like the wall and conduits here and here. So I'll get rid of them and see if they indeed were the issue. 'Cause that's what it looked like to me. And the old walls, the Ryoko walls, I'm just going to jettison on purpose. That was not an accident. I'm going mobile light now, so I don't need the old school. Oh, I also need to get rid of the floor too. All right. Orders, uninstall floor. Here and here. These are old floors, so I'm going to jettison them too. At least most of the time when I jettison, I intended to. Alright, so pick up, install. Oh, it doesn't like the new walls either. It doesn't want walls here or here? Really? Alright, let me quick save. I don't think that that would vacuum me out, but I'm just quick saving in case it does. Is it's like on a diagonal or something? I don't know. I think once the tow brace is installed, we can like install walls around it again. Yep, that indeed was the issue. I know diagonals are airtight, it just looks weird. So there we go, we have the tow brace. And we can secure a docked vessel to it now. The other thing is we're going to want to get an airlock in again. And I don't 100% know if... like, I don't know about the airtightness of a tow brace. So... it looks to me like I'm going to need to move some battery chargers, but that's fine. I didn't really like them in that position anyway. So let's put a battery charger here. And here. Move these walls, because they blocked the door. And then put conduit back in. All right, door is a door. Let's lay better conduit down though, because that is ugly. So power overlay is the visor I need. So install conduit here, and then uninstall it here and here. Oh, I just depowered the toe brace though. So install there and symmetrically there, even though it's unnecessary, just for symmetry's sake. Okay, so now the toe brace is good, and the airlock is good, I think. Let's get rid of the overlay. Yeah, so that looks about right. The other thing you could do is put your battery chargers like in your airlock. That's not unreasonable either. Yes, it comes in two parts. I had both parts and they're both installed. The toe brace is functional now. All right, let's freshen up. And then what I want to do is I want to lock myself to the emergency Malady, the last ship I was docked with, and move it around with my toe brace. What's in the bathroom there? Just, you know, goat parts. Don't ask. Butchered goat. The other thing I could do is, because I use the Emergent Malady, I can, like, try to put it... I can tow it to a match speed orbit of K-Leg, so that it's easier for me to dock with it routinely. But here's how to use the tow brace. It's pretty straightforward. Just go to the tow brace and secure dock vessel. There we go. I am now securely locked to this other vessel here. It also means that my RCS thrusters are gonna have a hard time, because I've just dramatically changed my thrust to weight ratio a wee bit. But now that, you know what, a smart person would quick save here, which I'm gonna do. Tow braces use a ton of power. Yeah, let's open the power viz actually. So open the visor for power. The tow brace, if I right click on my battery, yeah, I can see that it uses tons of charge. So, yeah, let's spool up the reactor core. Why not? I feel like we're a tugboat now. Why are we... That's a weird place to go. Whatever. Okay. Battery. Core purge. I don't need my helmet on for this. It's kind of fun to hear the reactor core as you spool it. Okay. Core purge off. Lazaline. Pellet feeder. Cryo. Fuel reg. Field coils front and rear. MHD. And ignition. Once it is running smoothly, I will charge with the battery bus. Core pressure looks good. Everything looks good. My helium per day is becoming stabilized. We can watch the helium per day as it trickles down, because I'm not using this to generate thrust or anything. It's just power. So I have like 7,489 helium, and we're using like 20 a day or something, right? It's not terribly uneconomic, and as you can see, it's starting to trickle now. There we go. There we go. Time to charge. So using about 5 kilograms of helium a day and 3 kilograms of heavy water a day. Not a big deal. So we go back over to our batteries, and we're charging. Lovely. All right, let's move this big bad boy somewhere into a more gentle, closer to K-Leg. So, whoa, okay. We were pulling 0.75 Gs. We're now pulling 0.2 G. Even with my throttle maxed, we're, you know, getting very little in the way of thrust to weight. The other thing is, it's going to be really hard to slow down, so I need to make sure that there's, like, not physical objects in my way, because I'll super slam into them. Or I'll have to decouple from our towing brace, because we're hauling a lot. Alright, so now we're in a... You know what? Let's use the timer. So I am 27 minutes away from K-Leg, and I don't want to go all the way there anyway. So... Timer. Play. So we'll just do 20 minutes of restoration, and then we'll start to slow down so we don't litho smash. So all the other helium tanks I'm going to sell once we get back to K-Leg, which means I should probably restore this one, because they're just unnecessary. And then we'll top up our... Oh, you know what I should do? Let's install the other antenna. It's not needed. It's like a backup antenna, but I might as well just put it back now. The reason we had uninstalled it all this time was it's really expensive to have running, because the antenna is a big power drain, but, you know, it's not much of a problem when you've got a fusion reactor to keep the lights on. A bit overkill, but overkill is, well, you're still killing it, right? There are thrusters on the Derelict. The thing is, I'm not using them. I'm not, like, controlling the Derelict. You only control one ship at a time. So just because I could move the thrusters from the Derelict to our ship to change our thruster-weight ratio, but when I'm steering around with a towing brace, the same way, like, if you're a tow truck, when you accelerate on a tow truck, you're not using the car that you're towing for, you know, like, that's not how that works. And it shouldn't work that way either. All right, the canister's good. What about this can? Okay, I think we've restored... Oh, it's time for me to do the thing. We've restored the things that I needed to restore. So we're good to sell. So now what I want to do is match speed with K-Leg. Is it not even letting me? Okay, well then I'll manually match speed with K-Leg. What I wanted to do is drop the ship I'm towing into like a stable, stable relative to K-Leg, so that it doesn't like drift away from K-Leg. That's the idea. So that if I want spare parts, it's sitting comfortably close to K-Leg. So I'm gonna have to do some fine-tune relative velocity so that it's sitting where it ought to. So changing my accelerometer down a lot, so we're dropping it in a very stable orbit. It doesn't need to be perfect. That's kind of what match speed is for, but match speed wasn't working. So if it's like relative velocity of like 0.05 meters per second or something like that, it's not going to drift away, in other words. Oh, there we go. Look, 0.0. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're basically parked relative to K-Leg now. Perfect. So I can decouple from this thing, and this thing should not go anywhere relative to K-Leg, meaning I can use it for spare parts. Cool. Nav? Undock. And before a jerk rams it, I mean, you know, I can't account for all factors. I just can account for my own. Before I dock with K-Leg, there was a derelict like next to me that I wanted to check out because it's so close. And then I'll go back to K-Leg, sell the helium tanks, and then top up my fuels. Oh, we're already there. Yes, if Automat catches something, I see the message, you guys don't, until I, like, flag it as fine. So you're probably wondering what I'm responding to. There we go. Skyra says, until a jerk rams the ship, it's in stable orbit. But, as you can imagine, jerk ram is, was caught by the Automat. Half the stuff I say when I'm, like, trying to kill the goat meat probably would get automated. Okay, this ship sucks. It's tiny. Penumbra. Oh, and it's, oh god, I need to, yeah, what the hell. So in the interest of finding cartridges, I'm gonna go, but, I can't stay very long because the meat is about to touch my ship. Speaking of meat. No, don't bash the door. Scrap it. So yeah, this gas shuttle is like about as meat as possible. But I can't help but to grab PDAs. I know. Because visors, man. Alright, so I managed to grab 3 PDAs, and I'm just gonna... You know, actually, the meat might... This piece of meat, I think, is on my ship. So once I undock from this thing, I'll have to go meat kill. But yeah, this ship here, the Zin, Zins, was about as cursed as could be. Yep, I got meated. That meat is on my ship. Alright, well... Let's go grab the pirate greeter. And greet the meat. So if you're wondering, if you don't end up cutting the meat off, it just keeps spreading and it will destroy your ship and ruin your life. And if you end up docking with K-Leg, do the same thing to K-Leg. Naomi Chase is having an issue with Corporation? Yeah, I don't care. You didn't fence me anything fun, so you can... I'm not helping. All right, let's see if these PDAs had anything sexy on them. This one has a modded cartridge, which is Pressure Tricolor. Yeah, let's see what it looks like. So I'm going to take my cartridges out and put that one in. I already have a pressure cartridge. Tricolor pressure is not special. So that's fine. I'll sell it. All right, how about this one? I feel like these are like Cadbury eggs or something. Like, you know, you're... Oh, this is a tier 3. Hello. Mass with rainbow. Price and pressure built into one. Oh! Oh, dear Lord. Yes, please. So this thing is mass, pressure, and mass pressure price with log scales and tricolor gradient and rainbow gradient, and yeah, okay, hell yes. In fact, with the 2 tier 3s I have, I've got mass damage. I mean, heat would be nice. I haven't found heat yet, but I'm needless to say, I'm keeping it. So I'll sell the PDA, but I'm keeping the other. All right, so third is what? Tier 1. It's got a rainbow price. Have it already, and I don't really care. So, put it on the ground. Nice! I found a really nice one. And I'll install the 2 tier 3s into my current visor. I really like the rainbow mass. Gives you the widest variety of colors, and the mass allows you to see parts. It's just like... And it also... the new one I have gives power paths, as well as like real-time and exteriors. It basically is everything but contours. Not that you'd want to turn on shadows, so it's like amazing. Okay, before I get lost in what I was doing, let's... Oh god, zoomed all the way out. Let's go back to K-Leg, top up our helium tanks, and then sell the stuff we don't need. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow astronauts.